Henk Akkermans here, Supply Chain Dynamics, Chapter 12, Collaborative KPIs, Sysdea Gameplay 8, Financial Flows. The financial flows are needed in this model to, well, basically to make to close the gaps, to close the loops, especially the collaborative KPI regime. Because in the end, what is the problem is I've now set back the simulation time again to the first 2 years so that you get a really confusing effect of the collaborative KPI regime. What you see is that there's actually no room for investment. There's no room for investment simply because the expected profits are less than the available funds. So yeah, the expected gross profits are negative. And why are they negative? Because the costs are higher than the revenues. Why are the revenues higher? Well, it is assumed here that the revenues for the supplier are some percentage of the revenues for the buyer. So there's a link there. The more business the buyer is doing, the more money that the supplier is getting. So the fraction of those revenues. Why are the and since those revenues for the buyers are shrinking as a result of the install base of customer, and also as a result of the revenues per customers, which are shrinking as a result of the drop and as a result of the basically the erosion of and the decline of the IT and telecom market after the outsourcing. So fewer revenues for the buyer, so fewer revenues for the supplier, and on the other hand, so a higher cost for the supplier, a higher cost smoothed over time. Why? Well, cost from system improvements. No, there could have been, but they don't spend the money since they don't have it. But definitely cost from system maintenance because there are more FTE needed to meet with all those queries from the buyer. So higher cost and lower revenues lead to negative profits and so no room for investment. Of course, this all becomes very different as soon as the collaborative KPI regime becomes active. But if it hadn't become active, then costs would have risen, revenues would have shrunk, and so no investments would have been made. But of course, there was a collaborative KPI regime.